let's just cover very briefly around the Bio 800 breakdown and what you might have seen with this. Now, there's other microbial products out there that claim to be, breakdown aids. If you look at what's in them, just ask the sales rep, can you tell me what's in there, and look at the label that's doing the job, and what you're going to find is they're all a handful of bacillus that are generally good at putting holes in stover, but they don't actually consume stover. So if you have more holes in it, I guess it should break down quicker, and it may have an impact. But what we do is we have the same bacillus, but we also have this beneficial fungi that actually consume the stover from the inside out and convert it into humus, adding organic matter back to the soil, adding nutrients back to the soil. So of the gang on the Tim or John or Grant, have any of you used the breakdown, and any feedback you have for the other attendees here?
Yeah, so we put out like 15 or 1,800 acres of breakdown this past fall. I was hoping to get it on more acres, but the end of our harvest kind of took us into November, and by that time it was pretty cold. So it is a product you definitely want to get out as soon as you can. Following that combine, you want to utilize that warmer temps and hopefully a little bit of moisture you get in the fall. So we immediately saw, really just after a week, like you get a decent rain and get some warm temperatures, you could start to see the residue kind of get that black decomp type look to it. You could go out there and pull the residue back and find some of that fungus growing actually under the residue, which is all a sign that that breakdown is really starting to happen out there. And it's really a huge difference between last year and this year. We didn't use any type of breakdown product last fall, and we really struggled with some residue issues this spring trying to plant soybeans early. And I told Tad, said, whatever acres we can possibly get across with the sprayer, we may just have to stop the combine a day to focus on getting some breakdown product out there. And I'm really glad we did that in a couple instances, that we tried to put our crew on getting some breakdown out there. And I think it's definitely going to pay off on trying to plant some of these earlier beans in early part of April and not have as much residue to deal with. And so we're real excited about that. And then again, we're going to apply Bio 800 on all those stocks again this spring. So whatever we didn't get done in the fall, we're hoping to get the right environmental conditions this spring to kind of restart that process and get it going again.
Hey, that's great. Thanks for that feedback, Grant. John or Tim, have you guys used the breakdown and have any feedback?
This was kind of my first year to fall. I did get it on a quarter of ground. On the 19th of October, we had a week, 10 days of pretty nice weather, and then we went into the 20s for an extended period before we warmed up again in the latter part of November. But like Grant said, it had that week, 10 days, so I did see a graying off to it. I did leave strips, so I'm pretty excited to see what this spring brings, comparing those strips to the treated and untreated. Like Grant said, it'd be nice to be out there right behind the combines, especially further north, where we can turn pretty cold in October. And I hope it works out good, because it'll sure help in the spring.
Yeah, and I tell you, we typically do see that we get better germination in the spring on fields that have been treated, because we just get a better stand count. The planter can get through the field easier. We see less diesel usage, and we see better germination, and we're also releasing all those nutrients back into the field. Dave, do you have the numbers off the top of your head on a ton of stover and how the NPK release that is potentially there?
Yeah. So for every 40 bushels of corn, you produce about a ton. So in every ton, there's 17 pounds of nitrogen, about 3-4 pounds of phosphorus, and 34 pounds of potassium, and about 3 pounds of sulfur. So, that's a lot. If you've got a 200 bushel an acre crop, 5 tons, there's a lot of nutrients tied up that you've already paid for, and this will help put them back in the ground.
Yeah, perfect. So let's get those nutrients back in the ground and ready for the next year.